Ladies and gentlemen, it is March 31st, the last day of the month and the last day of March Musical Madness. What a journey this has been. We started the month with 68 musicals. We had 4 first round play-in games to get our field to 64. Then we had votes to go down to 32, then to 16, then to 8 to 4, and of course, we've just finished our champion. And so, without any further ado, I want to get to our champion and then give you a little bit of a breakdown. So, in our championship matchup, we had Wicked taking on the surprising The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music took out The Phantom of the Opera, the musical that ran for 35 consecutive years, is the longest running Broadway musical. Beat that to get to the championship matchup. And it was close. It was back and forth and back and forth. The voting was open for 24 hours, and in a last minute, probably last hour, bid, Wicked went ahead with 7 votes to The Sound of Music 6 votes. And Wicked is the March Musical Madness champion. Congratulations to Wicked. I can't say I'm very surprised at that outcome that Wicked won, because as the bracket got generated and I kind of looked at it and kind of did a little bit of scouting from my personal preference, but also from the fact of, how these musicals had fared over time and throughout history, I kind of had a sense that when we got to the final 4, it would be Hamilton, it would be Wicked, it would be Les Mis, and it would be Phantom of the Opera. But no. In a absolute beat down, let me tell you. So when we got to that vote of Sound of Music taking on Phantom of the Opera, 13 of you voted for The Sound of Music, and 6 of you voted for The Phantom of the Opera. Now, I think part of this has to do with, and I think for The Sound of Music, it's not because of the musical itself. This is just my feeling, and I could be wrong, but this is my feeling. That it ended up that because of the movie The Sound of Music, that the musical, which is basically the musical put in movie form, got so much love. It wasn't because of the musical itself, but it was because of everything else surrounding it. Again, could be my thought. Phantom of the Opera was an absolute smash success on Broadway, worldwide. The Phantom of the Opera movie, not so great. Let's just be honest. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but most of the matchups ended up, outside of The Sound of Music, ended up going kind of the way I expected them to. I knew the Hamilton-Wicked matchup was going to be tough, and it was 1 vote. 1 vote difference there. I did not expect The Sound of Music to just thump The Phantom of the Opera. But Wicked is your champion. Congratulations to Wicked. If you agree, give yourself some love. If you disagree, comment with what you think should have been our March Musical Madness champion. And make sure, as we turn the calendar tomorrow to April, to check out all that is on the Harmony Music Education social media channels and YouTube, because we're going to move into Allegro April. And you may actually see some videos where I'm talking really, really fast. Or at least playing music really fast or singing really fast. Who knows? We shall see. But we're going to talk about all things fast and how do you get to making fast music. So, thank you for everybody who voted in the March Musical Madness tournament. I am grateful for your support and your participation in this fun little journey. And again, comment with your thoughts. If you liked this, awesome. If you didn't, comment with who you thought should have won.